Good evening. Happy Thursday to everyone that's joining. How you guys doing?
Doing good. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, everyone.
What's going on? It's good to see some familiar faces on here. I see Harrelson saying hello. We just got Devin Holbrook in the back too. So we got a few anglers that are going to be joining us tonight. Hopefully, more decide to hop on here in a little bit. We'll bring them to the stage and kind of talk to them. But tonight's going to really focus on our past event on the Kissimmee Chain with the event number 3, and then the Native No Limit. We're going to dive into AOI, go over event number 4 for Lake Okeechobee to get you guys all squared away for that. I know we just published it on Tourney X, and the boundaries and everything have been published, so we're kind of push that out as quick as possible. Make sure you get signed up for that. But today, our primary focus is just really going to be recapping our last event. And kind of where everything kind of shakes out right now when it comes to Angler of the Year, and answer any questions that you guys may have. But honestly, just showcase these anglers who went out on Kissimmee Chain last 2 weeks ago now and absolutely crushed it, right? So again, thank you guys for hopping on. I know we got Chris Parker, Devin Holbrook, and Mitchell, and those guys will be hopping on here fairly shortly. So as they come on, we'll bring them to the stage. So one thing I do want to talk about first before we bring these guys onto the stage is going through some of the, hold on, let me bring it up. I do want to highlight some of the, where are we at? Here we go. Up in the top left-hand corner, I guess, over me, if you scan that QR code, it's going to take you guys right to the registration link on Tourney X. That's something that we've done recently. One thing I do want to bring up before we bring on anybody else is the Angler of the Year points to kind of show you guys where everyone's at. This is on our Facebook page. You can see right now in first place is Blake Abbey with 297 points. He's got a limit in all 3 events. This last one being over 100. He was at 103.25. So he is the second angler this year to reach over 100 inches. We had Dwayne Dwyer on Orange Lake, and then Kissimmee Chain with Blake. So that is already very, very impressive. So we got Thomas Woodring in second with 288.5, Jeff Gallagher in third with 286.5, and then we got Jason Leach, our reigning AOI champion, with 264.25 inches, and then Evan Fracasso there with 260, and then Wendy Biles in 6th with 250. And then going on down, if you guys notice that something may be off, or your limits or whatnot is off, please let me know. I am doing this all by going through each one. We don't have an automatic AOI tracker like we did on Fishing Chaos. So what I'm having to do is Thomas Woodring helped me create this Excel tracker, and what we're doing is going in and I'm having to hand jam all of the numbers and I'm human and I may have missed something. So if I do, please comment or send me a message, and I will double, triple, and quadruple check and make sure that those points are accurate. I think I've looked at it about 15 times now, but as I look at it, numbers seem to get kind of smudged together. So there is a good chance that, I might have missed something. So just please do your due diligence and review it for me.
Mine's way off.
Yeah.
My numbers are way too low.
I think that's a human error there, Todd. Not error, ability, I guess you should say. We got Chris Mitchell. I think that's Blake Abbey, actually. Oh, good to see him on here. So yeah, right here, what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and pop up the top 10. Blake Abbey 297, Thomas Woodring 288.5, Jeff Gallagher 286.5, Jason Leach 264.25, Evan Fracasso 260, Wendy Biles 250. We got Ryan Dills with 244.75, Richard Bruce 230.75, Sean Spears 224.5, and then Robert Oakley rounding out the top 10 with 217.5 points there. So something that I do want to bring up there is, kind of the whole the whole thing with AOI and catching limits, right? You can see that from the top 10, not all of those top 10 anglers have caught a limit in all three events, but definitely the ones in the top 5. I think Jason Leach is the only one that didn't catch a limit and is inside the top 5 there. So catching a limit definitely does pay dividends because you get the extra 10 points there per each limit you catch. So Blake Abbey is sitting pretty with an additional 30-point bonus there for catching limits in all 3 events up to this point. Same for Thomas Woodring and Jeff Gallagher. So the catching a limit definitely will pay off for you guys moving into later on into the year. So I did want to throw that out there. What we're going to move into first is going to be, I think I see Blake Abbey in there, and then Alan Reed just hopped on. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we'll talk about the Kissimmee, the FKBT event on the Kissimmee Chain. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Blake, you up to the stage. I'm going to add you up here. I'm going to bring Devin Holbrook to the stage as well. And then if Chris Mitchell is going to hop on, we'll bring him here momentarily. How are you guys doing tonight? Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having us.
Love the beard and the mustache there too. That's an epic mustache. So wish I could grow one like that.
Been working on it.
I see Blake is trying to grow his out as well.
Yeah. That's like 8 years in the making.
Hey, love it, man. So how are you guys doing?
Good.
That's good. Devin, I seen you you and Blake had went over and picked up your kayak, man. That's awesome. How did that go?
Yeah, it was great. It was awesome. Blake made an awesome video. Travel Country is a great spot, and I'm stoked to get on that boat. I mean, that thing is a tank. I know you had one, Bailey.
Oh, I did. Loved it. Absolutely,
yeah, it's pretty sweet.
I've never seen one, but I want one too.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm telling you.
I was like, dude, in real life, I was like, this is cool. I was digging it.
Yeah, that's going to be the most stable platform you've ever fished from. I can promise you that. That thing is solid when it comes to being able to stand up. You can literally stand up on the side of it, on the side of the gunnels, and cast from the side and up on the top as well. It's super, super stable. It broke my heart when I got rid of mine. I wish I never did, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Hello. How are you doing?
Good.
Good. Hanging out with Dad? Did Dad take you to what was that, Daytona? What was that water?
Daytona Lagoon. Daytona Lagoon.
Yeah. That's
Dude,
awesome.
Todd texted me and goes, "Tell your daughters to thank me since I nudged you into signing up." Because Todd texted me at like 7:00. He's like, "Are you gonna sign up?" I'm like, "I don't know, dude. I'm on the fence."
Hey. And we'll talk about that too, because you were the real winner there for sure when it came down to it at the end of the day, with how much money you collected on that third is over 2,000 if I did my math right between both tournaments. So
yeah, it was a very good day.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Devin, man, I want to get to you first, man, with your big bass, because you got big bass for the FKBT with the 23.5. You took home the overall big bass for the native no limit as well, right? So kind of walk us through. I know Kissimmee is your home lake or your home chain, right? You spend a lot of time on that lake. Like, just walk us through kind of your day from start to finish and what led up to you landing that big fish there.
Yeah, for sure. So I went to Lake Jackson. I didn't actually do any pre-fishing out there. I pre-fished Toho 2 days out there, and it just didn't work out. I caught, like 2 18s, but I couldn't get a limit. And then I fished another area. I couldn't get nothing there. So I just, the Friday before, I knew Jackson was choked out with hydrilla. And so the Friday before, I drove down there after work just to take a peek at the boat ramp, just to see if it was doable. And it looked choked out, but I figured I could paddle around and make it work. And so I decided to go out there. And if y'all remember the morning, it was super, super foggy. You couldn't see 30 feet in front of you. So I went out there. I didn't really have a game plan or nothing. So I just started throwing a topwater around until the fog cleared up, which I think it was about 10:30 or so when that happened. And I got a couple good. I caught like a 19.75 and a couple other small ones, but nothing crazy. And I didn't catch a bunch of fish, so it was like every hour or two I'd get a bite. So I kind of had to try to figure something out. And so when the fog cleared, I kind of plowed my way through the all the way to the end of the lake where the wind was coming from, and just started letting the wind blow me through the mats and power pull down. I'd punch a mat, and I caught one pretty quick doing that, just like a little 14, and then ended up just sticking to it. And about an hour later is when I set the hook on that big one.
Yeah. What'd you catch it on? Was it you said a Crush City?
Yeah, it was a Crush City. Is a cleanup crawl.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite punching baits, but that and a BB cricket. And it was a purple and like a June bug kind of color, and that's what I've done well out there doing the same thing. So I just figured I'd start doing that, but I had to up my weight. I started off with a 1 ounce tungsten. It wouldn't go through, and so I bumped it up to either it was a 1.5 or even a 2 ounce. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah. Heck yeah, man. So the 23, what time did that come at? Was that pretty late in the afternoon?
That was at around 11:45.
Okay. So not before noon, man. That's
Yeah.
legit. Did you think the 23.5 was going to hold off and be the overall big bass?
I really didn't. I thought someone was for sure going to get a 2-footer.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't. I'm not going to say it was short, but it was a fat fit. I mean, it weighed almost 8.5 pounds. So for a 23, that's I figured someone on the Kissimmee Chain would definitely pull a 24 out of there for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, you got big bass in our event, and then you got the overall big bass there, which gave you the kayak, and you did get $500 and a $250 gift card as well, right? So
yeah,
you got a Titan X 12.5, right? So that's the overall. You got a cool trophy plaque as well, and then you got about $750 in cash on top of the check and the Hobie eyewear from our club as well, man. So you made out really, really well there as well.
Yeah, it was great. I was actually debating if I was about to just do the FKBT one. I wasn't even going to sign up for the no limit. I figured, I might as well throw the extra money in and see if I can't make something happen. So I would have been pretty upset if I didn't. Yeah, I would be pretty upset if I didn't do that and caught that fish.
And are you planning on fishing the bass event in February as well, I would assume?
Yeah, I'll be out there for sure.
Heck yeah, man. Well, that's gonna be awesome. Super pumped that you were able to put together that. I'm gonna pull that fish up here for you right here. So that's the fish there that took home the big check and the kayak, man. That's a pretty Lake Jackson bass right there for sure. That thing is a tank. That thing's an absolute tank. And one thing I did want to mention here, man, is I can't help but notice what's right there by your foot with your brother as well with that. So I can only imagine what he, means to you and what that allowed, having that there and focusing on that when you're fishing, man, is probably keeps you focused, right?
That was a special catch because it was, I believe, 3 days before it was a year since he's passed. So I think he was definitely working me out there in the water. So that was a pretty nice gift from him for sure.
Yeah, no, that's 100. Whenever I saw that photo, because I hadn't looked at it up until about a couple days ago when I was prepping for this, and I saw that, and I'm like, man, that's special. Something to keep focused on whenever you're trying to give up or your mental state is kind of out of whack right there. You got something there that's gonna kind of keep you hyper focused and have something to fish for, which is, to me, man, I that's mad respect there. That's awesome. Definitely was there for you and with you for that. So, yep. Well, congrats, Devin, man. I'm super happy for you. Super proud that you were able to, cash a check, take home a kayak. Hopefully your girlfriend, was it, you said your girlfriend or fiance?
Girlfriend, yeah, she'll be using that for sure.
She's going to be getting that or the PWR?
I don't know. Once I get on the water with both of them, I'm going to decide which one I kick to the friends and my girlfriend and all that.
So yeah, you can do a lot with the Titan X depending on what you want to do, but the drive in some of the hydrilla is not the best just for me. I very rarely even had mine in there in Florida, but up here in the north, man, it would be an amazing kayak because there's not much grass. It's like 40 foot of water, so the drive would work. But that thing, it'll get you anywhere, just like the PWR. I love my PWR. I got the same literally the same kayak you have. The thing is an absolute tank. Yeah, so it's going to be hard to get out of the PWR, but give the Titan a chance, man. I'm sure you're going to love it. So
yeah, I definitely will. I got some decisions to make for sure, but I'm gonna keep them both around for a good while.
Yeah, you got your options open now for sure. So well, absolutely. Devin, I appreciate you hopping on here tonight with us. Again, happy holidays. Tell your family and friends and everyone we said hello back at home. And you guys be safe and enjoy. Good luck at the Lake Okeechobee event there, Devin.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yep, appreciate you too. All right, I'm going to remove you here. We got Blake Abbey on the stage here, front and center. How you doing, sir?
Great. We did our Christmas tonight, so it's kind of hectic.
Oh, hey, well, we appreciate you making some time. I saw some people walking around in the background there, so I won't take up too much of your time so you can get back to the family.
No, I told him, I was like, guys, look, I got my priorities straight. I'm like, I'm going on FKBT Live, so gotta go.
Well, no, we really do appreciate that, and you hopping on. I see the kids running around and stuff. So that's
I had that 90-year-old lady that yelled at me. I don't know if you guys saw that fishing video. The lady that's like, you can't fish.
Yeah.
We went and picked her up tonight, and she came over, dude. It was it was so fire. She is lit, man.
Yeah.
So it was special. It was nice. You know, I got signed up for Okeechobee already.
Yep.
You know, one thing that I've been everybody I think in the kayak industry is hypocritical about is like signing up last minute. And I was like, you know, I'm going to commit to actually like setting the trend of signing up early. Cause I think, you know, with that native event, it was like, I'm guilty of this. I was waiting to see how it was doing, seeing how it was doing. But it's like, you know, once you see 20, 30 people signed up, you know, you get more motivated. So if you're watching this, if you watch it live or tomorrow or the next day, sign up for Lake Okeechobee because the first week of January on Lake Okeechobee is going to be nutty.
It's been, from what I've seen, watching social media and whatnot, Lake Okeechobee is doing really well right now.
Yeah, 10-pounders eating frogs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I know it from tournament director, and Blake Abbey's doing a lot of amazing things with the Florida Bass stuff too, right? So he's getting to see a lot of the stuff on the back end and how everything goes. So anglers signing up earlier is takes a little bit of stress off of us as tournament directors, making sure that people are actually going to be there and so on and so forth. I mean, we're pretty much used to it now with folks 20, 30 people signing up on Friday. It is what it is. It's fine. We've learned to know that like you guys are going to show up. It's just, it doesn't matter when. It could be at 11:49 and you guys are going to be signing up, which is fine. It just kind of helps with paying out anglers quicker if you sign up 2 or 3 days before the deadline so that the money can actually hit the account to where the anglers can cash out the Monday versus the Wednesday. That's really all that kind of benefits. But Blake, man, you had an awesome day on December 6th. So I want to give you this time to kind of walk us through kind of what made you decide to fish where you fished. Was it history? What have you, man? Just kind of tell us a little bit about your day and what ultimately ended up to you cashing a big check in both events. So the floor is yours, man.
Yeah. I'm nervous to talk about it just because everybody in Florida goes up to Kissimmee in a couple months. But yeah. So I drove to a ramp at 4:00 and I saw a bunch of people there. Including one of the tournament directors for FKBT, and I was like, oh no. I was like, it just, to me, like, my plan was to start there, and I was like, nah. So I actually drove to another lake, which was about 18 minutes away, and I was like, all right, I'll just do my thing here. The thing is, I had 2 really good practices, so I actually asked my wife, and I was like, should I fish here or here? And she's like, looking at me like, why are you asking me? But I went off the beaten path, and I knew at about 8:30 in the morning. I stood up on my kayak. It was like overcast, I think, till about 9 or 10. But there's some areas that I was in where it was like shallower water. But I stood up on my kayak and I could see in the water, and I was like, all I have to do is catch them, because I had seen fish, and sometimes that's tricky, So I had to do some different things because once they saw me, I had to let them reset. So my whole day was just based around being methodical and how to catch them. So I was intentionally spooking them and then following them, and then I'd let them reset. And once their little peanut brains forgot that they saw me, they would snap. So it was nice. Yeah, it was cool. I actually, I fished relatively clean. I always tell people, I'm like, especially in national events, you have to fish clean to win. I fished relatively clean. I did lose one on a spinnerbait. Like I said, I was throwing a Fire Tiger spinnerbait a lot, and I think it was just pissing them off because it had like the painted orange blades. It was an obnoxious spinnerbait. But spinnerbaits are tough to catch fish on for me because they just don't stay buttoned. Like they were coming at the kayak, so when they would hit it, they would run towards me. I'd be like, ah, and then head shake, and it would go loose. I'm like, oh my god, I fish a little cleaner when I can do my thing. My thing is flipping. I love a 5/0 hook on 65 braid is my. If I could do one thing nationally, that's what I would do. But it was fun, man. It was a cool event. I just got my Ducket rods in today. I got a gift card for the Ducket rods. I got a Jacob Wheeler rod that I would never buy because it's too expensive for me. And I got it rigged up. I'm going to Lake Apopka in the morning, so I'm excited.
Nice. Heck yeah.
And I'm going to do a little filming on it. I think it's imperative that everybody that wins these cross kicks and these lose reels, like, post and tag FKBT. And, like, Chris is across the country. Todd's a boomer who has no clue what's going on.
No clue.
I'm just joking.
No, we really don't. We're not your technical savvy video.
I think a little goes a long way, and I think it's many hands make light work kind of deal. So, I flipped the switch on this year. I was like, I want to be more involved with Florida, get more people involved, and it's nice to see new people. It's nice, there's guys in your club, Granger, that's making his own baits and bringing them in, and Wendy's bringing in the coffee, and I don't know, like I'm like a super sensitive guy, and it's like sometimes I lay in bed and I'm like, I have friends, and all of them kayak.
Yeah. No, man, you guys over at the Florida Bass, was it Brian Nelly, Seth Taylor, Matt Boat, all of you guys have really, turned that whole organization around, from your website to all the social media stuff to, you guys have gotten over around 50 and 40, 45 anglers, an event, which last year that wasn't happening, right? So y'all are obviously doing something good, right? But a lot of it too, and in my opinion, and I talk with the guys about this often, is the content that you guys create and put the time into, is highlighting those anglers is good. Something that myself, Todd, and Sean, we don't necessarily have the time to do all the time, but
I got the idea from like a saltwater series. They were doing just picture angler feature spotlights with stats and stuff, and I think on planet Earth, I think everybody wants to be seen and valued and feel important, and the best way to do that is to put a camera on somebody, and
I agree.
And I think I want to create a platform with both clubs in Florida as a state that I love. I was born in, for people to use to like get sponsorships and money to travel and grow and dude, when Devin won that kayak, I got high, and when I went and filmed again, I was like, dude, this is dope. Like, I was stoked, and everybody's gonna get a turn, like they say, the harder you work, the luckier you get, There was a couple guys that fished this past weekend that won their first ever tournament with Bass Station, first ever event. And they're like stoked. They're like over the moon, and like as you do, Chris, you get the same feeling. That's why I text you. I low-key, I text Chris. I'm like, dude, I love you so much, dude. Now I understand.
Yeah. Being tournament directors, like working with Todd, Sean, and Jeff, and all those guys, man, it's super rewarding getting to see, anglers smiling, taking home, checks, product,
right,
kayaks. I mean, trophies, all of those things for us. Like, we get to go out there and fish and travel halfway across the country to get to, to participate in them now, and getting, just, if I catch nothing, or if I do terrible, right, at the end of the day, I'm smiling, I'm having a good time because of the people and the friendship and fellowship that we have, right? No, there's no amount of money in the world that will make me more happier than being out on the water and hanging out with my friends, right? And being, God willing, being able to do that makes, our time on this earth, very short time that we do have, that much more memorable, right? And getting to share this with your kids, right? The winnings that you're making, you're going and getting to share that with your kids, and building memories from that too, which is just, to me, you get rewarded when you do it the right way. So yeah.
Absolutely. And, you know, the national trails, you know, you're running FKBT, but when Ocala-Palooza, when Kayak Adventure Series comes, we already know Chris Bailey's going to win. When Native No Limit comes, we already know Chris Bailey's going to win.
No,
You know what I'm
no,
saying? Because, dude, when you step outside of the director role and you're not taking texts at 7 a.m. and you're not running the show, you can fish.
Yeah.
When you're not getting off the water at 10 o'clock, you know, because
Yeah.
somebody's capsized, you can actually catch fish.
Yeah. And that was something that I've always told Todd and Sean and those guys is like, fishing our events is fun, but it's not, my focus isn't to win. My focus is to make sure the tournament is going on. So like getting off the water at 11:30, noon, whatever it was, to make sure that the event was going to be ran smoothly at the end. Now, you know, I do, like this past event, very thankful I didn't have anything come up, right? And it went seamlessly, to be honest with you. And they have been. Like this year, they went knock on wood, right? Everything, no issues. The anglers are doing phenomenal. So it makes our job, you know, so much easier. Fielding the questions and all those things, right? That's something that, you know, I'm fine with doing it, right? It's that's the whole part of the thing. That's the whole part of the role that we play, right? Absolutely. So yeah, but having a good team. This is the one thing I'll say. Having a good team is imperative to make sure that things like this run smoothly. And we have a good team. You guys over at Bass have a great team to be able to do what you're doing, right? And we're crushing it. So,
you know, wanted to briefly highlight David Meyer's contribution too. Like I had seen that mirror frame on the internet. I think he had posted it prior to the event. And I was like, what is that? Yeah, that's it. But then in real life, I'm like, oh my God, they're mirrors. I didn't even know it was a mirror. Because in the picture he posted, you know, you could, I guess, see the ceiling's reflection or something. But I got that up in my garage, you know, and I think that's just a testament to like people getting involved in the club and using their talents and abilities and skills, donating. And you know, Dwayne's was unique. I think he's making a unique one for each event, so it's a one of one. And like I'm a nerd card collector, like. And I like anything that's one of one to me is cool. You know, anything that's like, you know, only one of them exists. So that, you know, I wanted to say thank you on the show as well as in real life. And that's just cool. Like, cause it's just him doing it. Nobody asked, there's no money, you know, he's just like, here, let me gift this person. I was like, dude, that's rad. You know? Yeah, no, we really do appreciate David Myers, what he's done and what he's been able to bring to the table. He's really like I'm not going to say grandpa because I don't want him to make it sound like he's old.
Yeah, he's the grandpa.
He's the grandpa. He's the guy in the back. We're on calls for like 3 hours. You'll never know he's there. And then all you'll hear is, hey, Bailey, let me just throw this on you. And, you know, he brought this up to we wanted to do something unique and different outside of just the normal check. So there's some things that we've been doing. And he's like, hey, man, I can do this. And I'm like, run with it. Like, let me know how I can help. And just showcasing kind of his artistic ability and skills that he has outside of fishing and bringing it into our club has just been phenomenal. Right. And we're able to showcase that. And hopefully that's something that you guys can have hung up on your wall for, you know, years to come and kind of relish on it. So we're super grateful for him. We got something really cool coming up for the FKBT Top 25. That's going to be a phenomenal thing to highlight whoever it is that takes home that trophy. And then we got some other stuff for the championship angler of the year that we're going to do a little bit, you know, different than what we normally have. But Blake, I do want to do something here real quick because you took home first place. I want to recognize that you took home first place with 103/4 inches in the FKBT event. So you got the hammer. You become a part of the Century Club. So that's one accomplishment that you got, right? You got first place taken home, I believe, let me see, it was $810, right? So you took home $810 from our club. I believe this is one of your fish. This is the 21.25 or 21, right? So this is, you didn't get one, but you got 2 hourly big bass for the Native No Limit. So you had, and this is your other one. So that's $1,000 in 2 fish and then $500 in gift cards, right? So that's what, doing silly math there, that's 1,500 plus the 810 is what, 21 or 2,200 bucks, whatever it is. That's awesome. That's a heck of a payday, right? And you weren't even planning on fishing the native no limit, and I think you took home the most money out of any other angler on there.
Any tournament that I'm prepared for, that I think I'm going to win, I struggle to catch a limit.
Well, you caught a limit in this one, and
but I'm just saying, like, this one I was a little bit worried because it was what I did was dangerous. My original plan was to like not fish for it's just dangerous. Like, you know, if you don't make risk, you don't get rewards. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to spill your beans, but you know, you said you went and fished in a string of boats. I mean, that's dangerous, you know, like,
yeah,
there's doing things like, even if there's fish there, like hypothetically, what if 2 boats anchored on you and you're like, can't cast, you know? I mean,
yeah,
when you go on long runs and the fish aren't there, you're screwed.
yeah. Especially in a kayak, you're kind of held to that lake or that particular area of the lake, unless you have a 100 amp hour, 36 volt lithium battery. Then you're kind of, you know, you got.
I don't want to give away too much, but like, there's the swamp boats with the big outboard motors that churn up the water, like that can literally destroy your fishing for over an hour.
Yeah.
And when you're fishing in like off the beaten path areas, you have to be mentally prepared. Like, luckily when I practiced, that happened. So I had the mental fortitude, and it happened in the tournament.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And but I knew, I was like, okay, they'll reset. You know, you can switch things up. But yeah, dude. I mean, I'm talking like the bottom of the water comes up. It sucks. It's hard to like. But you know, certain people that I talk to that have been kayak fishing a long time, they're like, it's all mental. It's all mental. If you stay cool, if you lose the 10 pounder at 8 o'clock and you stay cool, you can win. But if you're the whole rest of the day, the next 6 hours, you're thinking about that one, you're doomed.
Yeah.
You know? So,
so
you
true.
got somebody. The head game is definitely a head. If you become a head case, it can ruin a day of fishing for sure.
And it happens to everybody. So like, if that's you, don't worry. Like, everybody goes through that. Like, people that I respect will tell me, they're like, dude, I was spinning out today. It just wasn't my day. And every single time I saw Blake Abbey came in, every time I see him, at the first thing I say, I'm like, did you lose one? He's like, yeah. I'm like, how big? He's like, big. I'm like, you got it on video?
Yeah. And he generally does.
Yeah. So like, and then I'm always like, yeah, me too, but I'm not going to tell anyone.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be that guy that's, you know, complaining about spilled milk. You know, I've tried my best to make it a point to just go up and congratulate the winner and not immediately pivot into like how I would have won if I caught my fish.
Yeah. No, and that's good too. I think people see that, and people are like, you know, being genuine and congratulating and putting other people first. People see that and they can be like, okay, this person's genuine, or they, you know, there's other, you know, narratives or whatever, right? But being a people person, going around, you know, really taking care of people, in my opinion, is a huge thing, right? And for me, like, I think I don't make big fancy. I made a post about this one, but if I win or I do something, like, it's more so like on you guys, right? And that's because that's kind of my prerogative. I'm doing this for fun. It's fun to win a little bit.
Dude, you won this tournament by 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
At 8 a.m. you had already won.
Yeah, I wish I would have known that, so I probably would have switched up my game plan. But
dude, like when I checked, I'm like, oh well, I may as well try to catch some big ones.
Well, we'll get to mine in a minute, but I do have you and Blake Abbey, formerly known as the real Chris Mitchell, the real Slim Shady. Both.
Well, listen, I'll jump off, guys.
Yep.
Let Chris do his thing. The last thing I have to say is, this is just my opinion. The more people that sign up early, the more buzz that's created for the event, and the event's better, and you can win more money. So sign up. That's my end quote.
Get signed up. Hey, Blake, you have a safe Merry Christmas with your family, and we'll see you again on Okeechobee.
I appreciate you guys. Right. Thank you.
Yep. Later. All right. We got Chris Mitchell, the real Chris Mitchell, on the stage. Hey, Chris Parker and Alan Reed, I see you guys back there. We'll be bringing you guys up here momentarily. I'll bring you guys both up, so just sit tight with me, okay? Give me a thumbs up in the green room if y'all hear me. All right, cool. Sorry about that. But yeah, Chris Mitchell, how first, welcome to the stage, man.
Hello.
You're no stranger.
No.
We've seen you here. Chris Mitchell is a legend on the Kissimmee Chain, so he put together another solid day out on the lake. He had, let me pull you up over here, Mitchell. Oh, let's see. Third place with $324 is what Mitchell ended up taking home. So again, another solid top 3 performance for you. You got big things. You finished in third place for the Kissimmee Bass event, right? Third place for this event, and Kissimmee's coming up in February, so you got big things. I'm not going to have you talk about where you fished or any of that because I know with this event coming up, I'm not going to put that out there, but just give us a little bit of a rundown on your preparation for the event and then how it kind of played out going through that day.
All right. Well, just preparation. Is my mic loud?
Yeah, I got you. We got you.
Okay.
It's got a little echo there.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Hold on.
You're good.
Okay.
It's no echo on my end.
It's not?
No, you're good.
You're
Okay.
good now.
All right. So, preparation, I tried to fish different bodies of water to see if I can get into something completely different than what I planned on fishing for the February event. But things didn't really work out like I hoped with different bodies of water, so I just went to my milk run, my little milk run that I do every time I go to Kissimmee, just for fun fishing, and it just worked out. I mean, just using that clutter or the cutter worm, the 7-inch cutter worm, and just hitting the Kissimmee grass lines, just doing what I'd like to do, you know.
We
And
still like to call it the clutter worm.
what's up?
We still like to call it the clutter worm.
Yeah, I know, but I try to call it the right name. It's gonna come back and bite me if I don't use the right name.
Right.
But yeah, I was just doing my little normal thing I like to do on Kissimmee, and it just worked out, you know. Start off the day, the whole day was just catching fish. I didn't really have a time where I was spinning out or worried about something happening. The only thing I might have been worried about is maybe like a high school tournament, that Bobby Lane Cup. I was maybe worried about someone jumping in front of me or being in the spot I want to be in. But all the high school kids, boat captains, everybody was like super respectful. If I was in a line facing a certain direction, they would not jump in front of me. They'd just kind of take off and do whatever else. So that was really cool of them. And yeah, so everything was just on that cutter worm, you know.
It kind of worked, and it worked out for you, right? So you were able to cash a check for the FKBT, a top 3, a very, you know, crucial for AOI points there and getting that limit there, right? Which on Kissimmee Chain, we don't really ever question if you're going to catch a limit or not. It's just how big of a limit you're going to catch.
Right. Yeah, because sometimes my little milk run I'll catch 5 at the least, but it could be all just 12 inches. So
yeah,
I was just kind of hoping. I used the live scope maybe a little bit, but not a whole lot.
And I know the week leading up to it because we came down. I came down to Florida the week in prior, so I got there on Sunday, and we didn't even pre-fish the Kissimmee Chain. We just went out to just random bodies of water and kind of did our own little weekend trash talking trail events and things that we do kind of within our group and had fun, right? So you never even set foot on the body of water you fished until Saturday morning.
Right. Yeah. That week that you came down, we just fun fished off a bunch of different things. But the week prior, I was like looking at different things, and
so you gave it a little bit of a break, even though there was like 600 boats on Kissimmee that week. So yeah. Well, man, it worked out there for the FKBT, but for the Native No Limit, you cashed a check with. Let me go ahead and put you over here. You pulled this 21.5 into the boat. Did you think that 21.5 right there was going to be able to get you a check?
I was hoping it'd be an hour. Yeah, it was like the first hour.
It was.
But I wasn't like for sure, like, oh, this is gonna be a big bass. I was just like, if it is, cool. If it's not, oh well. But
Yeah.
my main goal was just to try to catch the best 5 I can find for FKBT and just add on from there for the no limit.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of looked at the no limit kind of a bonus, but my focus is for FKBT.
Yeah, well, you got a $500 bonus there with a $250 gift card, right? So $750 there for the native no limit, and then you went home with $324 for the FKBT, right? So just around over $1,000 there for in payouts and gift cards and whatnot for that event. So it's a good event. That's a good week or good day of fishing, in my opinion. So you're able to put a little money back in your pocket from that week of fishing and traveling. So that's always a good thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Your next event is going to be Lake O, and then what's the next bass event on the first week of January? Where are they going?
On the 3rd is Istapoga.
Okay, so you got Istapoga, you got Okeechobee, and then you're going to have the Kissimmee Chain for the bass coming up. So you got a pretty busy schedule coming up, right? So anything else you'd like to share, or before we bring on the next group? Any advice for those anglers out there on the Kissimmee Chain?
If you see me, don't fish next to me. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Kissimmee Chain, it's kind of tough because sometimes it's so picky, but most of the time you can catch a limit, but you gotta give it a chance. I mean, if you're not catching stuff, just keep moving, and once you find
cover that water.
If you find one little spot that you're getting most of your bites at, just stay there and pick it apart. That's what I can say about Kissimmee. But I hear Toho's a lot better than Lake Kissimmee, so just go up to Toho.
We'll talk about that in just a little bit. I mean, I've enjoyed my last 2 outings on Lake Toho for sure. So, but no, Mitchell, I know you're busy. You're always editing videos and whatnot. So I really do truly appreciate you taking the time out of your busy Thursday night to hop on and give us a little snippet of what happened on Saturday. Again, looking forward to continuing to follow you and your social media. If you want to thank any of your sponsors, please go ahead and do so. And then we'll move on to the next group.
Thanks, sponsors. I don't really... We're in limbo. I'm in limbo right now, so we'll just leave it at that.
Yep, no worries, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep, no worries, Mitchell. We'll go ahead and put you to the backstage, and we'll see you on the next live.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Later. Yep, later.
Bye.
See you, Mitchell.
All right. So before I bring on Chris Parker and Alan Reed to talk about the Native No Limits, I do want to pop this up onto the screen real quick, just to give them a shout out. Granger, he did finish in second place on the FKBT side with 95 1/4 there. So I do want to give him a huge shout out for coming in with second place there. And then I do also want to give a huge shout out to Evan Fracasso. He took home the Little Debbie, which took home some Little Debbie cakes, and then the 12 Days of Fishmas Strike King edition. And then I do want to throw up Mr. Devin Holbrook here with the Hobie Eyewear Big Bass check, who took home an awesome set of eyewear there. And then obviously the big group photo here. So again, thank you to everyone who showed up at the award ceremony. It was great catching up with you all, as it's been a while since I've been back down in the sunny state of Florida. So I do truly appreciate each and every one of you guys that came out and competed on the FKBT side. I do want to bring in Chris Parker and Alan Reed to the stage to talk about the Native No Limit experiences that they had on the Kissimmee Chain. So, Alan, how are you doing?
Okay,
Good. You're muted, Alan.
sorry. Doing
Got
great.
you now. Sorry for the wait, guys. We were trying to get all those guys done so we can focus in on the Native No Limit side here. So, how are you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Chris, who you got with you there? Is that your daughter?
Yeah, this is Briar. He's
Hey, what's going on, Briar? Thanks for joining. Awesome. So we'll start with Chris, man. Tell us a little bit about your day and kind of how everything went and what you ended up getting for big bass there.
So yeah, just kind of decided out of nowhere to pick the lake that I picked, where like I haven't fished in 5 months. I wanted to get away as far as I possibly could. So we picked the lake that I didn't think that. I mean, I knew there would be a couple people, so I saw Gallagher, Evan, Frizzy was there, which whatever, I've never fished it, so I was like, all right, well, we'll see where we went to a spot. It's kind of how I do my best work, where if I don't know anything, I'll figure it out eventually. And yeah, just started throwing a chatterbait after once the fog got up, and had the freeloader as on the trailer. Caught a couple small ones, missed one maybe like 18 inches, and then kind of just stopped. So decided to put on I always forget it, the War Eagle spinnerbait with gold blades, and it was every 12-inch fish in that lake was all over it. And then it was nuts, where it got to the point where it was like 14s count this thing, but whatever. I haven't fished in 5 months, so I went out there just to have fun and kind of just look around for the Bassmaster kayak in February, see if I liked it. And yeah, then just all of a sudden, caught that 19 3/4, which I didn't think that was going to do anything for the hour 3. And I think it was like an hour and a half later, I caught a 20, where I was talking to my buddy Scott about. I was like, this could be a $500 fish, and we punched some mats. And for being off for 5 months, I didn't fish as clean as I wanted to. We lost a lot of fish, but it was nice to finally have fun. Where that's kind of where I took it off, where I was taking it too serious, and
yeah,
we weren't having fun at the end of the year last year, just because we have Lake Cypress is like basically the lake that I live on. And I couldn't get a limit to save my life there. Like I caught my 4th fish with like 10 minutes. I was like, this was a joke, but it was nice to. It was a lot of fun it was nice to have a lot of fun there. Got almost run over by a bass boat, and I don't know if you heard the choice words that came out of my mouth, but he was like 50, 60 yards away from me when the guy came. And we're just throwing a spinnerbait all day, and that's pretty much how it went.
Well, that's good. Hey, you said the main thing there is you got back on the water and you're having fun. That's what a lot of us get caught up with, trying to do this thing for more than just fun. You seem to lose kind of what it's all about, right? And you kind of get lost in that. So it's good that you're able to get back on the water. You're able to have fun, and then you're also able to, cash a check on not even your biggest fish that you caught.
Yeah. That was the crazy thing. Like, we were on the show, and he was like, "And you're 19 3/4." I'm like, excuse me?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's phenomenal. So you said you're planning on fishing the bass event, hopefully, right? So maybe, hopefully the FKBT folks can go out there again like they did last year and show out and cash what we had 2 in the top 3. I'm sure us Florida guys are going to go out there and hammer them in come February. So hopefully you're able to get a couple more days or weeks of practice in out there to kind of, get a little bit more practice so you can fish a little bit cleaner, I guess you could say, and put together a good limit there come next February. So am I breaking up?
No.
Sorry.
Chris was frozen.
I think we're done.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't breaking up. I paused there for a minute because it looked like it was spinning. You good? You back, Chris?
Yeah.
So I do want to pull up your fish here that you got. This was the 19 3/4 that cashed you your check there. So you got $500 cash, and then you got a $250 gift card to which one? Where did you end up going or getting your gift card to?
RoboHawk. So I have a RoboHawk. I have a pile of foam feathers now.
A pile of foam tethers?
Yeah.
Is that what is RoboHawk foam tethers?
Yeah. That's what I
really?
I was messing with Mitchell. I was like, I'll trade you this because what am I going to do with $250 worth of phone
you're not going
tethers?
to lose your phone and your any rods or reels.
No, yeah, and that's everybody's got one. The kids have one in their stocking. Like, we have enough.
That's that's good. That's good. Well, Chris, man, it's a pleasure getting to see you and getting to see that you're back out on the water having fun again, man. Super happy for you. I hope you and your family have a fantastic Christmas and a happy New Year as well, man.
Awesome, man. Yep. And I'll see you or I'll see everybody at Okeechobee.
Yeah, I'll be
Okeechobee, buddy.
judging
See you
and on
there.
the back end, so I'll be there in spirit. Right now, it's blizzarding. There's a huge blizzard outside, so I'm stuck to my house. But I'm wishing I'm in Florida. So, well,
Yeah.
Chris, I'm going to pull you to the back of the stage. Thank you so much for sitting tight and hanging out with us tonight. And hopefully, we'll see you on the Lake Okeechobee recap.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Yep.
Hey, buddy.
All right, Mr. Allen, how are you doing, man?
I'm good. Good.
Thank you for being patient. I'm sorry. It looks like you're busy. You out on the town?
Sorry, say that again.
You out on the town? You busy?
Oh, I'm just out Thursday nights. I typically head out somewhere because my fiance has a call with her longtime friend from Ohio.
Oh,
Yeah, I'd rather come out and get some dinner and watch some football and rather.
let
than
me
listen
guess.
to-
Let me guess. Pizza. You're at a pizza joint.
I am not.
Oh, okay. Okay. How
They don't
how
even
how
offer-
was your huh?
They don't even offer pizza here.
Really? How is your cheese? You still doing the smoked cheese?
We're cooling back down, so it's that time of year, right? So
Yeah.
you got to keep cheese cool. So once we have another one of those, high 60, 50 degree days, then we'll do some cheese again.
Heck yeah, man. No, so for those of you who don't know, Alan, he smokes cheese and does jerky too. So stuff's pretty good. So, all right, Alan, well, let's dive into your Native No Limit event, man. Tell us a little bit about the day, what led up to you catching the fish that ultimately ended up cashing you a check for that event.
Yeah. So I'm going to back up just a little bit more than that.
You're good.
Struggled lately. I have really struggled. I'll go out and have great pre-fishing, find lots of fish, good sized fish, and then go out there on tournament day and can't get them to bite. And,
Yeah.
So I was, a little different strategy pre-fishing for this one is, I fished the Kissimmee Chain a number of times. A little different because I'm not a Florida native, right? I've been down here now for 5 years, and I'm going up against all these people that have years and years and years of experience on all these lakes and have their little spots, right? So starting to form that a little bit on Kissimmee Chain. So I went back to a place that I've had good success before, but I didn't even pre-fish there. I went to a different lake that was nearby just to kind of feel out what I thought the fish were doing in a similar kind of lake. And then just launched on tournament morning, went to some places that I knew. It's a smaller lake, but I've fished the entire lake. And I went to an area that I didn't think was going to be as pressured as much because I knew there were probably going to be a number of other anglers there as well. And just started fishing grass and docks and lily pads. And it's obviously kind of a balance, right? When you're fishing for the biggest fish versus trying to get a good limit for our local event. So I was trying to kind of balance that at the beginning. Certainly wanted to get a limit, which I was able to do, fishing around the pads. Most of those came on a chatterbait, and then started moving around into a different area that I knew, and stopped off at a dock, and tossed a Senko all the way to the back of that dock, hooked a great fish, and it broke me off on the pillar for the dock, so that was a little disappointing, but again, I've already got my limit. I'm just keep plugging along here. And I went up into a creek, and there was some flow, and I really love to fish the moving water. So I went up probably a mile and a half up that creek so I could fish back up the current because I've got a bow mount motor. Makes it a little easier. I think it looks a little more natural for bait fish swimming down through the current and that kind of stuff. And I got to an area where it's grass and lily pads on the side of the creek, and tossed up next to one clump of grass, and that's when I hooked the 20 1/4 inch. And it was jumping. I thought, oh, please don't come off. All right, this is going to be worth something. And I got it in, got it measured, and there's a little bit of relief there, right? It's like now I actually have a good one. Then I moved down about 10 feet, cast up on the same side of the creek, hooked into another good one. But this one, just like Blake was talking about, it was just running right at me, and I was reeling as fast as I could, try to get it up to me. And that one jumped up, spit it out. It was probably about 18 inches. Went down another 10 feet. I repeated the exact same thing. Went down another 10 feet, repeated the exact same thing. And then also to what Blake was talking about, then I had one of those tiller motorboats come through and just tear it up. Right.
Oh,
so
God.
I was kind of close to the end of the day. You know, I tried to give it a little time to reset and go back there and get those. But, you know, the one fish, I mean, you know, I was kind of fishing for something really good, and I found enough to get a payday.
Hey, that one fish, $500, and then you got a $250 gift card to where?
Tackle Direct.
Nice. Awesome. So you got about $750 in cash and prizes, right? So you definitely got your money back for the entry fee for both events, right? And then you're able to have a little bit of spending money for some fresh tackle. So that's awesome. But that just goes to show, man, the determination that you have to being the drive to go out there and put the time into pre-fish, and then not see the consistency. You're always out there pre-fishing, putting in the time. And then when it comes to the tournament time, it doesn't always and hasn't always been panning out for you, right? But you get frustrated, what have you. But at the end of the day, right, it's one fish can change everything, right? Understanding that.
You know, everything that's happened in the past tournament, that's done and over with, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
We start fresh. And, you know, even kind of what Blake was talking about again, right? So that's different days, right? But even throughout the day, people have come in the last hour and just found the right thing and won. Yeah. You really can't give up, right? Like, if you're really into it, you just keep plugging along, and it doesn't always pan out, but, you know, you keep doing it, you're going to find something.
No, yeah, absolutely. I haven't really had an opportunity to fish competitively, like on my own, right? Going out and fishing bass or those sorts of things, right? Because I've been hyper focused on the FKBT, but getting an opportunity up here in North Dakota and fishing with some of the clubs here, I try to split it up into 3 different tournaments: the morning, the midday, and then that afternoon, and just kind of keep in my mind focused. Okay, here I'm my best 5, and then just trying to compartmentalize, you know, that to where I'm staying focused and not crashing out if I miss fish in the first segment of the day. I'm not living on that, going to in midday when you're going to be struggling. Okay, now my goal is to do this for midday. And then at the end of the day, this is what my goal is, right? And not letting what's happened maybe during pre-fishing or earlier on in that day really, you know, mess up your mental state. Because like Blake said, it is a very, very big thing that does play a very big part in your day. Is if you crash out at 8 o'clock in the morning and you can't recover, your whole day, you know, is shot. And then you're not keeping your head on a swivel, which could then pose, you know, significant safety for, you know, other anglers, other boaters, right? You come in and a boater pulls up on you and you're not in the right headspace, you can get in a physical or verbal altercation, which could then have different, you know, things as well. We see that all the time. So it's good. It's good, Alan, that you're able to keep that, you know, that mental headspace strong so that you can continue to, you know, to produce. So I'm hoping, you know, as the season progresses, you continue to keep that mentality so that you can, you know, continue to move up there on the leaderboard each event.
Well, appreciate it. One other thing that, you know, this Christmas was the first fishing rod that I ever got. So I've been fishing for 10 years now.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was watching a lot of videos and that kind of stuff early on to learn and things like that. And Gene Jensen, Fluke Master, some of you guys might know him by, he did a whole video one time about, you know, when you're going out there fishing and you're not successful, you know, just sit there for a minute, grab your sandwich, just do a reset. Taking a break for 5 minutes is not going to kill your fishing day, right? Like, you're already not doing good. Just take a minute and reset yourself. So, not that I did that on that day, but I certainly put that into practice sometimes. Just clean myself out, kind of go into what you were saying about breaking it up into periods.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic, man. And you, what's your next event you fishing?
I think it's going to be our FKBT event.
Okay, so Okeechobee, have you got a chance to go down there and do any sort of fishing yet, or you
I
planning on
haven't.
doing that during?
I'm one of those lucky people that I get a lot of time off at Christmas. So basically, I'm done with work tomorrow and don't go back to work until January the 5th.
Oh, nice.
So, outside of our Christmas activities and a few things like that, I'll be squeezing some fishing in there too.
Well, man, I hope you go down there and able to put something together and catch you a big one. They're chewing down there from right now, from what I've seen. So definitely good luck on Lake Okeechobee, man. And if you decide to fish the bass in February as well, man, keep your head down. Oh, I know. So good luck there. I'm sure we'll be talking again as we recap either Okeechobee or the Bass event coming in February. So, Alan, I'll let you get back to enjoying football and whatever it is that you're doing back there. Again, appreciate you being patient and joining us tonight on the live, man. And Happy New Year and as well. Yep, definitely. We'll see you around, Alan.
Congratulations, buddy.
Yep, congrats.
Thank you.
All right. So thank you, Alan. Thank you to everybody who hopped on tonight and joined.
Hold on, before we go too far, let's talk about you for a minute. You took the whole thing there for the No Limits. So take a few minutes and share what you did.
Well, to start the trip, I drove 29 hours south. The first 5 hours of my trip, I was driving through extreme cold weather conditions, icy roads. So trucks spun out a couple times on the interstate. Thankfully, no one was injured. I didn't get injured. I was able to make it down. I drove 19 hours on my first day to get out of the snow. So I made it from North Dakota all the way down to just outside of Nashville. The first day, slept at a rest stop. Woke up around 6:37 in the morning, and I made my way all the way down to South Florida, where we were going to be camping and kind of spending the first half of our trip fun fishing, and met up with the guys, and we went right back out on the lake Sunday. We started fishing Sunday from sun up to sundown with our little thing. So didn't pre-fish the Kissimmee Chain, I believe, until Wednesday, the week of the tournament. I just wanted to go out where I'd where I've fished before in previous FKBT events, including our championship. So I went out there just on a whim. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go fish it, check it out. I've heard that area has been sprayed heavily, right? So I was like, oh, let me go out there and see if there's any fish. So had some of my waypoint saved from our championship, and I just went out there, and that area was, I'm telling you, was completely different. I mean, completely different. None of the hydrilla was there. It was literally just an open bay, right? 5, 6, 7 foot of water here or there, whatever, with sporadic hydrilla clumps of grass kind of out in the open. But you wouldn't know unless you had live scope or a graph. So I just went out there, and I got a pretty, before even, as I was getting on the water, I got notified of something pretty horrific that had happened to my brother the day prior. I'm not going to get too much into that, but like, I was starting that day off, that got brought up, and I was kind of out of it for a lot of the time. So I'd thrown my bait out there and had gotten a phone call. I answered it, and it was kind of going through what had happened, and got off the phone, and I started jerking the jerk bait that I was using, and caught a 19 3/4, like right off the bat in pre-fishing. And I'm like, okay. I was like, all right. So I went about another 30 yards and just started, casting this jerk bait. And I mean, when I tell you, I caught a ton of fish during pre-fish, and they weren't all big. They were like 13, 12 and a half, 13, some 14s mixed in, some 15s mixed in. But that Wednesday, I went all over that area, just chunking and winding, catching fish after fish after fish. And I'm like, okay, so No Limit at this point only had like 20 people signed, not even 20 people signed up. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go after the big bass. I'm just going to go after, the no limit portion of it. And I thought if I could do that, if I could replicate what I did on Wednesday, on Saturday, there'd be no question that I would win it. So I got off the water there fairly early, or probably around 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Left that spot. Actually, no, I went down further south, and I came across another angler, an out-of-state angler from North Carolina, who had their battery had died. So he came up to me, and I hooked up to him. And I motored him back to the dock and got him back. And then I went out for a little bit, and then I turned around and left to kind of beat the traffic back to where we were camping. So fast forward, the next day, went to another part of that lake, never been to before, and I was doing the same thing that I was doing where I went the day prior and could replicate it all over. It seemed like I could replicate it all over the lake. So I was like, okay. Friday comes around, didn't touch that lake. We went to a completely different body of water that wasn't even on the Kissimmee Chain, and we just fun fished until about noon. And then had a little fun event there. And then come Saturday morning, I show up to the boat ramp, and Todd was there, Dave was there, a few other kayakers, Wendy was there. One of Daniel, he placed third in the native no limit. He was also there where I was at. And there was also what did you say, Todd, about 80 boats, 90 boats?
It was an ABA.
Yeah, there's an American Bass Association tournament that was heading out of the ramp that we were at as well. So it was busy. They launched kind of before the first light. I was very surprised those bass boats launched when they did, especially with how the visibility was there, and that it was right before safe light as well. It was kind of concerning, especially seeing some of those boats go across the water that didn't have their nav lights on. So
that's amazing. I can't believe they did not have their nav lights on.
Yeah, and there was quite a few of them too. So it was quite concerning to see that. So I was very thankful that I was out of their way when that was happening, because that was this very, very, very scary moment for a lot of the majority of those boats. But at I didn't even start. I didn't even get to fish my starting spot where I'd caught all the fish the Wednesday prior. I had to go to another spot, and thankfully I did. The first 3 hours of the tournament, I caught a fish on every cast. And I'm not lying. I caught a ton. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
I caught a ton of fish. And thankfully on Saturday, they were a ton of 14, 15, 16 inchers versus the 12s and 13s that I caught on the Wednesday prior. So I caught, I think, 300 inches for the native no limit side before 9 o'clock. I think I was right there around 9 or 10 o'clock. And then I ended up the tournament with 386 inches. But I caught a ton of fish. And in our area, Todd would know, Dave Myers was there as well for a brief period of time. It had how many boats would you think, Todd, and kayakers?
There was probably a good 40 around there.
Yeah, there was around 30 or 40 mixed between kayaks and boaters all in that area. I caught well over 80 to 100 fish myself. Daniel, I saw him catch a mess of fish as well. He was about 150 yards away from me. There were boaters that were trolling and on their trolling motors all around me. You can hear them talking, being like, "Oh, now I got about 100 fish in the boat today," and that was no lie. Like, we had all caught, upwards of 80 to 100 fish on that day. I could have easily had over 400 inches. I was doing something I shouldn't have been doing or trying within the app, and a couple of my photos got waxed from my total, which it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I had fun. I caught a lot of fish, and I got to do it around some really great people. And I got to share that experience again with Todd, Jeff, David, the whole FKBT family, Sean, all those guys. So super grateful to be able to take it. I was able to get one of these. David had said something about the plaque, so the plaque got in the mail. Even though it is a blizzard outside, UPS and FedEx still delivers. So I was very fortunate enough to go home with that, but also got to share it with Todd and those guys down there on the south end of the Kissimmee Chain.
And speaking of Bailey, speaking of David there, we'll just throw it on out there. David got him a $500 fish too.
Yeah, David, I don't know why. I definitely forgot to. I don't know if I added him to the call or to that message or not. But David Myers, if you want to hop on because he did. He caught a 21-incher in the area where we were all at, and cashed him a $500 check. I think Sean just hopped on here as well, so we'll bring him to the stage. But yeah, no, David Myers, again, cashed him a $500 check and a $250 gift card. But I guess he didn't want the recognition. He said he was good. But all in all, the FKBT and all the anglers that competed in both events, I think they were all in the top 10, minus Daniel, who finished in third. He was the only out-of-state angler, I think, that cashed a check, and it was his first event too. And he was on them all morning. That's why I kept doing what I was doing, because I was seeing him catch fish cast after cast the same way I was, and I was just like, man. He came up to me kind of middle of the event, and his identifier had gotten water on it. So I helped him get his identifier squared away to where he could use it for the rest of the event. So yeah, that is the thing, man. Again, competitor, someone that I was competing against and that was in second place. If you can do anything to go out of your way to help an angler, please do so. One, because of the type of sportsmanship, you never know what's going to be reciprocated back to you whenever you need it. So always have good sportsmanship, take care of other fellow anglers out on the water, and ultimately the number one thing is have fun. That's what I did. I was able to go out there and have fun. Spent the whole week hanging out with Sean, Sean, Harrelson, Mitchell, all you guys. That is what really made my trip worth it. And I was able to get back home safely to my family too, which was a plus as well with the huge winter storms that we've been having up here. So, but yeah, no, I'm super thankful. Caught them all. I'll show you guys. Caught them all on this bad boy, right there. Brand new in the box. I lost my bigger one of the day. Pulled the treble hook off the front of it. So, yeah. Kept this one. All my jerk baits, actually. Every tournament I seem to have won has come on a 6-cents provoked jerk bait. So that's a good bait. If you ain't got one, go get one. They're on sale for the holidays. I think buy 3, get 3. So go do it if you want to catch a lot of fish. So, Sean, what's going on, man?
Oh, I just got back from the Christmas dinner at work, so I'm late.
No, you're good.
I apologize.
No, you're good, man. We had a great live. We're at an hour and 13 minutes, so enough about me and the tournament. It was a great event. Super, super thankful for Vinny and the Native No Limit crew for coming down to Kissimmee. Let's hope that we're able to get them to come back next year. And if they do, we got to show up and we got to show out, right? We got to hit more than 50. If we can hit that 100 angler mark and get that $1,000 an hour, every hour payout on top of a kayak for big bass and a kayak for the no limit portion winner, that would be huge. So if Native's able to come back in 2026, which we hope they can, we need to show up and show out so that they can we can get those big hourly payouts. All right. But before we move on, we do have some other items that we do want to talk about, right? So with that being said, Todd, if you want to pull it up, the Lake Okeechobee event, I'm going to have Todd share his screen, and we're going to break down those boundaries for you anglers that are going to go out and pre-fish during this holiday break. So big thing here on the Tourney X dashboard, we have done some things a little bit differently. We have linked the FWC public boat ramp finder on our tournament dashboard, where you can go to that, type in Lake Okeechobee, and it will show you all of the approved or authorized public boat ramps. Any boat ramp on Lake Okeechobee is authorized as long as it's public, or if you have to pay to launch. Those launches can be outside the boundaries. However, you must travel inside the boundaries before you can start fishing. Okay. You
Yeah.
may launch from launch points outside of those boundaries.
Yeah, and what do you specify for those of you who haven't been to Lake Okeechobee? Like if you go down the Clewiston, you launch out of there. There's a few up north that you would have to lock through and go through the lock to get inside the boundaries. Is what he's specifically talking about. And there's a few others that are outside the boundaries. And for those that like, I was on Garmin mapping today. And looking, there's ramps that populate on the Garmin mapping that are not in all reality real ramps. So make sure you use that FWC ramp finder to identify those ramps that are open, because they're going to specifically say whether they're open, closed, under repairs, whatnot. And it stays pretty up to date on there. So use that as your reference tool. I would recommend not using Garmin mapping, because I was checking on it today where I want the fish, and there was a ramp, and I went to the FWC ramp finder, and it's not a ramp. So be careful when using your mapping on your units. It may not reflect proper data like it did for me today. So definitely use FWC ramp finder. And those boundaries, if anybody has any questions about it, I create all the overlays. So if you have any questions, just by all means reach out to me. Most of you guys have access. If you're on the page, you have access to my phone number. You can just search it on the official page or send me a message via Messenger.
Yeah, thank you for that, Sean. We're trying to make it as easy as possible for you guys to be able to locate eligible launches. So you can see around this lake here, you see the little red dots. Those are going to be your boundaries for those events, or for this event. So someone had asked Sean about, is the rim canal in play?
Yes, if you're inside there's portions of the rim canal that are outside
What's
the boundary.
The answer to that
That's ineligible. But if you're down on the south end in Clewiston and you run the rim canal and it's inside the boundaries, it's fair game. So if it's rim canal inside the boundaries, you're completely within the rules of fishing it. But if you go up along like the northwest side of Lake Okeechobee, portions of the rim canal are out of bounds. So that would be ineligible water. And like I said, just if you need some clarity, just drop me a pin and be like, is this eligible or not? And I'll be as quick as possible to answer you back. I'm going on a half-day schedule starting on Monday, so I'll have all the time in the world to answer your questions pretty quickly.
Okay, awesome. And then if you want to zoom in, Todd, real quick on where the award ceremony location is going to be, I've also put a link to a Google Map pin on where it's going to be at in the tournament dashboard. But it's going to be on the very northwest corner of the.
It's right there. It's right there at the pin, Todd. I marked it on the overlay. There you go.
Right there. Yep, right there. Yep. So if you zoom in, it's called like the Okie Tanty, or hold on, I'll tell you right now. It is called.
It's where the Okeechobee boat rides are at.
Yep. It's called Okeechobee Tanty Recreation Area. It's 10430 State Road 78, Okeechobee, Florida 34974. But it's right there, just north of that little thing. There's a boat ramp there. It's going to be right there.
Yeah,
right,
that address.
Right where my cursor is, right there. Where the airboat
address
is.
Bailey, Chris just gave you, that red dot right there where it says Okeechobee. That red dot where I put there, that's where that address is going to take you. Just head slightly north and you'll see everybody parked up there.
Yep. But yeah, no, that's going to be Lake Okeechobee. It's going to be a great event as always. There's a lot of fish that are being caught there right now. I'm not sure what the current water level is of the lake. I know it has been down.
It's still dropping.
Yeah, so just be careful when you're out there running different lanes with bass boats. Just making sure you're keeping your head on the swivel there. But yeah, pending any questions for the Lake Okeechobee event, any boundaries or eligible water is everything that you see here on the screen. But if you have a question about a launch or anything like that, just reach out to Sean or any of us, and we'll do our best to answer to make sure that you guys are squared away. But if you're going out on the lake between now and the event, please be safe, have fun. Always remember to wear your life jacket and have your flag and everything visible so that you can be seen while out on the water fishing. So again, that's kind of what we wanted to talk about right now. We will have our official captain's meeting on January the what is it, the 8th? Yeah, January 8th at 7 p.m. to go more in depth for the Lako event.
Can I interrupt real quick?
Yeah, what you got?
Hey, if we have any new anglers, and we'll mention this during the captain's meeting, but that don't have a catch board, I have one brand new catch carbonate that it's come in the mail. It's from the native no limit event. I'm gonna give it away. So if we have an angler that doesn't have one and needs one, I'll by all means just hit me up directly, and I'll donate it. I'm pretty sure it's a 26-inch catch carbonate. I don't think it's a 32, but awesome. Either way, it's a catch carbonate board. It's gonna be brand new. So
awesome. Well, thank you for that.
And you're new, and you lost yours for whatever reason, I'll get you one.
I lost mine.
Todd, I know you have plenty of boards. I have a huge collection piling up in my house right now. I don't need another one.
Well, now I appreciate you. Y'all have any big plans for the holidays?
Do I? No, I'm working through the holidays. I'm gonna work half-day schedule.
Yeah. We had off today for the blizzard, so I go back to work tomorrow, and then I'll work all Christmas as well. So, and then I'll be off for the New Year.
I'll probably use it to spend my $1,776 on fishing tackle.
Yeah, if that hits the account, I saw that. So again, too, man, like I do want to say something, and this is outside of just kayak fishing in general. Life is precious, right? There's things happening all over the world. The plane crash with Greg Biffle today, things that happen to family members, right? Just during these times, definitely hold your family and your loved ones close. Tell them you love them. Give them a hug, right? Spend this time with them, because you never know, when life can be taken away from somebody, right? And when things happen, it really opens your eyes to know that it is a very precious thing. So that's just my little thing with certain things that's happened to my family here in the past couple weeks. And just watching on social media with Greg Biffle, and his plane. So it's happening. It happens all over the world every single day, right? Just hold your family and your loved ones close, and your friends too, right? So we got a very close-knit family here. So we hope that you guys stay safe if you're traveling to go see family and friends. Be mindful of your surroundings, and just, use this time to share love with your friends and family. So that's all I have. Todd, Sean, again, thank you guys for hopping on. Todd, thank you for everything that you do for the club in our absence. You're definitely the glue to this club for sure. So thank you for all you do. And I hope that you guys have a fantastic Christmas with your families as well. So
Same here.
Well, again, I think that's going to do it. We're at an hour and 23 minutes. But we had a fantastic night getting to highlight anglers from the native and the FKBT event. We're looking forward to this new year. A lot of really cool things to come. Super excited for it. I hope that you guys find time to sign up for these events and get out on the water and have fun. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you feel free to reach out to me. I'm here and open and honest with everything. So just make sure if you need anything to reach out. So until then, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we will see you guys January 8th at 7 p.m. for the Lake Okeechobee Captain's Meeting. Tight lines, everyone.
Yep. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.